Let's start our first news. Max Holloway believes that a massive win over Conor could put him right back into title contention, and he is not shy about saying it. Speaking about his future after this blockbuster matchup, Max explained that he keeps hearing the same conversation everywhere he goes. According to him, people continue to say that if Conor wins this fight, he could immediately jump into a title fight, whether that is at featherweight or lightweight. Max pointed out that many fans, analysts, and even fighters seem to agree that Conor would have that opportunity waiting for him if he gets his hand raised. But in Max's eyes, there is one important detail that everyone keeps forgetting. It takes two to make that happen. He made it clear that if he goes out there and gets the victory, there is absolutely no reason why he cannot slide directly into that exact same position himself. In his mind, beating one of the biggest stars in combat sports should open the exact same doors for him that people believe would open for Conor. Max sounded confident, motivated, and fully aware of the stakes involved in this fight. A victory would not just be another win on his resume. It could become the launchpad for another championship run and possibly a shot at UFC Gold once again. He also spoke about the atmosphere surrounding the event, reminding everyone that the fight is taking place in what many Hawaiians call the Ninth Island. Max believes the crowd support will be huge, with Hawaiian fans showing up in force to back their guy. Interestingly, he even mentioned seeing support from Irish fans online, saying it feels like some of them might be cheering for him as well. Max expects plenty of Hawaiian flags in the crowd and believes the energy inside the arena is going to be electric. Move on to another news. Conor has once again fired shots at Khabib, this time launching a brutal attack on his legacy and accomplishments inside the UFC. During a recently released interview that was reportedly recorded over a week ago, Conor did not hold back as he questioned Khabib's resume and criticized the timing of his retirement from the sport. According to Conor, Khabib competed in only a limited number of UFC fights and shared the octagon with very few high-profile opponents throughout his run. He argued that only a handful of those victories came against what he considered truly established names in the division. Conor then turned the attention back to their own fight, claiming that the circumstances surrounding his preparation were far from ideal. He revealed that he had been away from competition for nearly 2 years before stepping into the cage and said his lifestyle during that period was anything but focused on fighting. He stated that he was spending time partying on yachts, dealing with legal issues, and adjusting to life after achieving massive financial success. According to Conor, he had already reached a net worth of around $200 million by the time he accepted the fight. The former two-division champion also claimed that he entered the matchup while carrying a serious injury. He referenced footage shown in his documentary, saying that he suffered a broken toe just weeks before the event, but still went ahead with the fight. Conor continued his criticism by claiming that Khabib walked away from competition too early and never tested himself in multiple weight classes. He pointed to the lack of knockouts and finishes on Khabib's record and argued that his achievements do not compare to some of the UFC's biggest stars. For Conor, the legacy debate remains far from over, and his opinion on Khabib's career has clearly not changed one bit. Move on to another news. Justin Gaethje and Kamaru Usman had plenty of praise for Ilia following the unforgettable events at the UFC White House card. Despite handing Ilia a devastating loss, Justin made it clear that his respect for the former champion remains incredibly high. Justin backed Ilia to bounce back from the defeat and stated that he still possesses all the skills needed to beat anyone else in the lightweight division. He described Ilia as an incredibly talented fighter and wished him nothing but success moving forward. According to Justin, Ilia's abilities inside the cage speak for themselves, and he is genuinely excited to see what comes next in his career. At the same time, Justin completely shut down the possibility of an immediate rematch. He confirmed that while he has every intention of fighting again, especially because his body feels great and he has no desire to retire anytime soon, Ilia will not be his next title defense. Instead, the newly crowned lightweight champion appears focused on an entirely different challenge. Justin revealed that he plans to be sitting cage-side for the highly anticipated match between Conor and Max at UFC 329. He explained that although Max knocked him out at UFC 300, he feels he already found a form of redemption by defeating Ilia and capturing the lightweight title. Now, Justin has shifted his attention toward Conor, repeating his long-standing desire to finally share the octagon with the Irish superstar. He even hinted that the winner of the UFC 329 main event could become his next massive opponent in what would undoubtedly be one of the biggest fights the UFC could make. Meanwhile, Kamaru Usman also praised Ilia for the way he approaches the fight game and the entertainment side of the business. He acknowledged the unique promotional style that Ilia brings, mentioning the elaborate celebrations, the theatrics, and the moments that make victories feel even more memorable. Usman gave Ilia credit for understanding how to create excitement around his fights while still remaining one of the most technically gifted fighters on the roster. He even joked about Ilia's similarities to Conor, laughing about the tattoos and the comparisons that fans continue to make between the two stars. However, Usman emphasized that what makes Ilia special is that he does not need trash talk or personal attacks to sell fights. Unlike some fighters who try to create drama outside the cage, Ilia's performances inside the octagon are more than enough to capture attention and create excitement on their own. Move on to another news. Dustin Poirier has shared his thoughts on the upcoming showdown between Conor and Max at UFC 329, and his comments delivered both criticism and respect for the former two-division champion. Poirier, who famously closed out his rivalry with Conor at UFC 264 after the Irish star suffered a devastating leg injury, made it clear that his personal feelings toward his longtime rival have not changed. Dustin openly admitted that he still strongly dislikes Conor and even described him as a horrible person from his own personal perspective. However, when it comes to competition inside the octagon, Poirier was willing to give credit where he believes it is deserved. He explained that Conor possesses unique abilities that very few fighters in the sport have ever had. According to Dustin, Conor is a special athlete with natural gifts that cannot be taught or developed through training alone. Meanwhile, Conor himself recently spoke about his desire to return to active competition and remain one of the busiest fighters on the roster. The former champion explained that he genuinely loves fight week, fight night, and everything that comes with competing at the highest level. Conor even stated that if circumstances allowed it, he would be willing to fight almost every single week of the year. He reminded fans that before his injury, he had managed to compete multiple times within a short period, and believes he is still capable of maintaining an active schedule moving forward. The Irish superstar made it clear that his goal is to stay busy and continue competing for as long as possible. He acknowledged that discussions with the UFC regarding his future and the organization of his fights have taken place behind the scenes, with both sides sharing their positions on how things should move forward. According to Conor, the focus now is simple: handle business inside the cage first, then continue the conversations afterward. He expressed confidence that everything will work itself out if he delivers when it matters most. Conor also confirmed that he currently has only 2 fights remaining on his UFC contract. With one of those commitments expected to be fulfilled soon, he remains optimistic that an agreement can be reached to continue his career beyond that point and keep his comeback story moving forward. Move on to another news. Paddy Pimblett believes that a victory over Benoit Saint-Denis would put him right back in the lightweight title picture, and the popular contender already has several big names in mind for what comes next. According to Paddy, defeating Benoit would immediately place him back among the elite fighters competing for championship opportunities. He pointed to his previous performance against the current champion and argued that the fight was much closer than many fans give him credit for. Paddy explained that while many people scored the contest clearly against him, he personally believes the fight was competitive and that he only lost by a narrow margin. He even mentioned that one of the judges scored the bout 3 rounds to 2, which only reinforced his belief that he belongs among the top fighters in the division. With confidence still high, Paddy stated that once he gets past Benoit, He is ready for whoever the UFC places in front of him next. However, there is one matchup that clearly stands above the rest in his eyes. Paddy admitted that he would absolutely love to fight Ilia next and made no effort to hide his feelings toward the former champion. The rivalry between the two has been building for years, and Paddy made it clear that settling their differences inside the octagon remains one of his biggest goals. Outside of Ilia, Paddy also listed several other potential opponents, including Charles, Arman, Max, and Conor, emphasizing that there are plenty of exciting options available in the stacked lightweight division. He also pointed to Justin's recent performances as further proof that he belongs among the best in the world. Paddy noted that critics continue to question whether he deserves a place inside the top 5 rankings, but he believes another major victory would silence those doubts once and for all. Perhaps the most interesting part of his comments came when he reflected on the emotions he experienced before his previous high-profile fight. Paddy admitted that he felt unusually nervous before making the walk to the cage, something he says almost never happens to him. He revealed that the nerves were so strong that he even mentioned them to his coach before the fight began. According to Paddy, the feeling was strange because he usually enters fights with complete confidence. Looking back, he now believes those emotions may have been a sign that things were not going to go his way that night. This time around, however, he says the pressure is gone and his confidence has fully returned. Move on to another news. Khabib has shared some surprising advice for his longtime rival Conor, ahead of the highly anticipated UFC 329 showdown with Max. While discussing Conor's return to the octagon, the former lightweight champion did not sound optimistic about the Irish star's chances against the Hawaiian veteran. According to Khabib, recovering from a serious leg injury at the highest level of mixed martial arts is an incredibly difficult challenge. He explained that he does not believe Conor will ever be able to fight exactly the same way he did during his prime years, especially when it comes to his kicking game and movement inside the cage. Khabib also suggested that there are many factors beyond the physical injury that could impact Conor's return, pointing to the mental side of competition and the pressures that come with making a comeback after such a long absence from the sport. Despite his criticism, Khabib still gave Conor credit for one thing that very few fighters can match. He described him as an incredible promoter who continues to attract enormous attention whenever he competes. According to Khabib, Conor remains one of the biggest stars the sport has ever produced and still generates massive interest around every event he is involved in. Because of that, Khabib advised his old rival to make the most of the spotlight while it is still shining on him. He suggested that Conor should take advantage of the attention and opportunities currently available to him. Khabib also claimed that the UFC is trying to maximize every remaining moment of Conor's star power and pay-per-view appeal while they still can. In his view, that is one of the reasons why this matchup with Max was made. Meanwhile, Max has made it clear that if he defeats Conor at UFC 329, he expects to receive the exact same superstar opportunities and championship discussions that many believe would immediately be offered to Conor following a victory. Move on to another news. Alexander Volkanovski has shared his thoughts on a potential matchup with Conor and explained exactly how he believes he would approach the fight. Speaking about facing Conor, Alexander acknowledged that the Irish superstar remains one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. Despite spending a long time away from competition, Volkanovski believes Conor would still enter the octagon with his speed, accuracy, and power intact. According to Alexander, the biggest mistake any fighter can make against Conor is giving him the opportunity to land his biggest weapons. He explained that Conor is the type of opponent who can change a fight instantly if he is allowed to find his timing and rhythm. Volkanovski believes the key would be patience, pressure, and making Conor work harder than he wants to. Instead of rushing into exchanges, he would look to force mistakes, make him miss, and slowly drain his energy throughout the fight. Alexander also mentioned that this strategy is similar to what he expects Max to try if he faces Conor. He believes Max understands the danger that comes with fighting someone like Conor and will respect the power while sticking to his own strengths. The former champion explained that the goal would not simply be to avoid strikes, but to create situations where Conor believes opportunities are available. By making him chase openings and miss important shots, a fighter can begin taking control of the pace. Volkanovski emphasized that Conor's biggest threat comes from his early explosiveness and ability to punish mistakes. However, if an opponent can survive those dangerous moments and force him into deeper rounds, the fight could completely change. For Alexander, the blueprint against Conor is clear. Stay smart, stay disciplined, and slowly break down the former champion by removing the opportunities that make him so dangerous.